Hello everyone, my name is Yogesh Lahankar and I would like to welcome you all to Into Law Academy's official YouTube channel. In this particular session, we'll be talking about the common law entrance test for undergraduate level, which will award you admissions for the 2025-2026 cycle. In this session, we'll be talking about how to tackle with the current affairs section and overall how to score more than 100 plus marks out of 120, right? So mission 100 plus. Without any further ado, let's get started. We'll be looking into the current affairs section, how to revise it effectively, right? So the first thing that you need to do is stay informed on legal developments. See, this particular point is very important. This is an entrance for NLUs across India. This is, the exam which gives you a ticket to study law in India. You should know the kind of legal developments that are happening in the nation, right? So, in-depth knowledge of the legal this thing proceedings are not needed as of now. However, you should be well informed about what's happening. So what are some of the important Supreme Court rulings? What are some of the recent laws that have been passed by the parliament? What are the amendments that are being considered? These are some of the things that you should know, right? Otherwise, the very basic part of the examination would be missed, which we don't want, right? Secondly, very connective point, that is prepare for major court judgments. Just go on the internet and search for Supreme Court landmark judgment summaries for 2024 and you will get to know the most important summaries of the most important cases. For example, recently the outgoing Honorable Supreme Court Chief Justice Chandrachud sir, he had actually given a ruling on the this thing, caste based discrimination in the prisons of India. Now that's a very important and landmark judgment and you should know about it, right? So what I'm trying to say is you have to read at least the summaries of landmark rulings. What I would suggest you to do is just search for this particular command, Supreme Court of India 2024 landmark judgment summaries, and you will get the gist of it. There are multiple articles on the internet. No need to dive deep into every case, right? Judgments from 2023 2024 which are absolutely important, you should know about them, right? Constitutional matters, civil rights, government policies, they are often asked in the examination, you should know about it. Thirdly, focus on contemporary events. Again, this goes without saying. We have seen this in our trend analysis video. Almost everything is asked from the contemporary events only, be it Indian, a national scenario or international scenario, right? Only a few passages here and there have been asked from the historical perspective, like the one about Gandhi and the one about the speech by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, right? Most of the others were actually contemporary events that they had asked. So 12 to 18 months, last 12 to 18 months events, they are to be studied. Prioritize studying major national and international events from November, December 2023. So yeah, 18 months is something that we are saying, but considering that you only have 15 days now for the examination, I would suggest you to focus more on the events that have taken place, say after November 2023, right? Going ahead, fourth point would be follow government policies and programs. Atmanirbhar Bharat, or Indian space program, India's national education policy, that is NEP 2020, which was recently introduced, so on and so forth. I think there are multiple things that you can actually focus upon in this particular category. But the point over here is these type of policies and programs by the government of India are quite important. Usually the passages are asked from newly launched government schemes and initiatives, especially the central government, right? So you need not focus on the state government and their schemes. That would be too much to do, right? So just focus on the central government. Visit government portals and news releases. Especially you should daily visit PIB, Press Information Bureau, and see what is happening. Press Information Bureau is the naked news, the fact as it is released by the government of India, right? And it is 100% true. Whatever is happening in the nation, PIB will cover it and it will provide you the naked fact, right? Nothing else, no opinion whatsoever. It will just give you the fact. So PIB is very important. Fifth is track international summits and conferences. So recently, India was the presiding over the G20 summit. Now there is a COP happening at Baku, that is in Azerbaijan. Recently, the BRICS expansion has also happened, right? And then UN meetings also happen continuously here and there. You should know, right? So apart from that, you have to focus on the key outcomes of these events and India's role in these global gatherings. That is also really very important because the exam that you're writing is focused on Indian law system. So obviously, India's role in these global gatherings, these global events would be asked at much higher degree. Okay. An international event, as a standalone passage, which requires you to know an international event entirely without having even a single word uttered or written about India would be very few. Like, the Israel and Hamas conflict, the Israel-Palestine conflict, Israel-Hamas or Israel-Hezbollah, these kind of conflicts, right? However, Indians stand and all, they could also be asked. So what I'm trying to say is whatever India is doing about these kind of international summits and conferences, whatever India's stand is, you should know, right? Sixth is understand India's foreign relations, especially with big nations like US, Russia, China. Recently, our relations with Canada have grown bitter. You should know about that as well. So, what is Khalistani movement? You should also know that, and all the neighbors of India, what they are doing and what's happening over there is also something that you should know. For example, Sri Lanka is going through economic problems. Bangladesh has recently undergone a coup. So you should know this, what type of government has been established in Bangladesh and how the relationship between India and Bangladesh are entering into new dynamics, the Teesta Water Treaty, so on and so forth. These are the kind of things that you should focus upon. Analyze major treaties, agreements, and diplomatic issues that India has with these nations, especially US, Russia, right now Israel, right, and Saudi Arabia, because India is actually, improving her relationship with Saudi Arabia. At the same time, when you talk about Israel, it's because of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Okay, and all the other neighbors of India, that is also important because that has been asked the most in the recent past. Seventh point would be you have to be updated on science and technology, especially India's space program, and any other new piece of information about science and technology, including AI and cryptocurrency. So, artificial intelligence, SpaceX, or cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, so on and so forth. These are some topics that are being discussed like crazy right now, and you should know these. Read up on major innovations, awards, and research. I have seen that in most cases, whenever they talk about something, the award that is been given in that particular field is usually asked to whom that has been given and all. So you should know the names of the people as well. The exam, in my own opinion, I might be wrong as well. My opinion might not be accurate, but in my opinion, I think the exam is fairly factual in nature. Okay, so yeah, you should know certain facts. थोड़ा रट्टा लगा के जाना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. Eighth is study major sports events, especially the Olympic Games, which have recently concluded in Paris, the Paralympic Games as well, and India's performance in both Olympics and Paralympics. You should know. Also, you should know that while the performance in Olympics was not that great, the Paralympics performance was actually better than expected, so on and so forth. Asian Games and any other sporting event that is happening. Is there any other thing that is attached with that sporting event? For example, there was a passage on football and LGBTQ plus community as well. So these are the kind of things that you should know. What I'm trying to say is focus on sports diplomacy as well. Okay, obviously when we talk about Olympics and other games, we focus on medal tallies, who won the most gold medals, who won the overall more medals and all, and notable achievements and all, but focus on sports diplomacy as well. That would give you the much needed push towards achieving the goal of 100 plus marks out of 120. Ninth point would be follow environmental issues and climate reports, right? So this is a recurring theme. Conference of parties or Ramsar agreement, so on and so forth. These are things that are being asked not only in this particular exam but for other exams as well. If there is an important report that is released like global hunger index, or any journalism independence report or whatever, you should know about it. Yeah. And India's action towards climate change, that is really very important. I think there is a high chance that they might ask you something about India's initiative towards renewable energy. I think there is also a chance that they will link renewable energy with EV or something of that sorts, right? Something to do with green economy, right? Something of that sorts might be asked in the examination. The 10th and the last point for this particular session is follow economic reports and trends. So whatever the World Bank is doing, whatever the International Monetary Fund is doing, Indian budget, economic survey of India, what is the role and what is the policy of RBI? These are the kind of things that you should know. Key economic indicators, inflation rate, policy related to economic recovery post pandemic. These are some of the things that you should absolutely know. And there is absolutely no reason why you would be not taking this seriously, because see, RBI and Government of India's policy, both fiscal and monetary policy, they have a very high chance of being asked. In the recent in the last few days or weeks, Indian currency has actually plunged to the record low level to the US dollar. So that could also be one of the topics of the passage. So yes, economy is also important. So these were the 10 most important topics that you should definitely check out while revising for your current affairs, for your common law admission test 2025 for undergraduate level. My name is Yogesh Lankar. Thank you very much. I hope you found this video helpful, and I shall meet you once again in yet another informative video. Bye bye.